So
And it's live. We are live, and it is live, meaning the QB Show. Thanks for watching, listening tonight or throughout the week or the next couple weeks. Don, Stacy, myself here. We'll go through a quick introduction soon, but I just wanted to mention it is 6:32 Central. We're a couple minutes late. And then it's, sorry about that, July 7th. So thanks for tuning in and for continuing to follow the QB Show, formerly Radio Free QuickBooks, which I don't even really say anymore. Maybe I should, but my name's Woody, and I'm a product specialist with Intuit, and anything I might say doesn't necessarily reflect the views, statements, or opinions of Intuit. So, Stace, how's it going there? You got your Stacy K shirt on.
I do have my Stacy K shirt on. We kick it off in less than 2 days. We start, so I'm really excited. There's only 4 seats left, so if anybody is interested in signing up, now is the time to do it, because we're limiting it to 20 people, and the reason why we're doing that, and I say we, and that means me, because I'm male. Because we really are trying to make it kind of a little bit different than any of the other training that's out there, because we want it to be very personal, and we want everybody to sort of work together. We want to keep the webinar small enough so that people don't have to mute themselves, so they can actually ask questions, and they don't have to type them in. They can unmute themselves when they want to ask a question, and so we can have sort of an open dialogue. So the way it works is there's 6 weeks of live webinars, and then it starts with the webinar next week, and then the next week we have the live webinar on Thursday, and then we have a half hour of office hours on Friday, so we can kind of talk about it, and so it's sort of staggered. So the first week is just webinar, and then the second week is webinar plus office hours, and then the last week will be just the office hours. So it's kind of just a Q&A sort of a thing. And then we have a secret Facebook group, and so secret groups mean that you cannot search for them, and you have to be invited to them. So it's kind of one of those things where whatever questions you have, no one will be able to see them. Not anybody, not any other accountants, none of your clients. Nobody is going to be able to see kind of what we're talking about in there. So if you have questions about how to do stuff, it's sort of a no judgment zone. And it's already actually really active, and it has been for a couple weeks, and I'm very excited about that. So we are rocking and rolling, and we're getting started. And like I said, we have 4 seats left, and I hope you know,
is anybody helping you on the webinar, or?
No, it's just me. So, I mean, I've had help. Obviously, Jen Puckett from Puckett Creative Design has helped me do the website. So she did all the website stuff, and then Laura Wooten has helped me with the marketing and stuff like that. So I have people that are helping me sort of get all of it behind the scenes, but I've been doing all of the content. And I mean, the content really sort of fell into place because it's all the stuff that we use at Kill All Services. So it really, I didn't really have to come up with any of the content because there's a cat. So I actually have a glass of wine tonight. So the content really, it's just stuff that Shannon and Katie and I all use every single day to run Kill All Services. And it's stuff that since we put in place, we actually have increased revenue about 60% this year over last year. So I was looking at our P&L and compared our year-to-date, our 2015 year-to-date P&L versus our year-to-date P&L for 2014, and we're it's 60%, actually 67% higher this year-to-date versus last year, just by implementing the stuff that I'm going to be teaching at Stacy K. So it does make a difference.
Awesome.
It's sort of badass. So that's what we're doing. So
well, that's exciting. When's the actual event again?
The first webinar is Thursday, July 9th, and it starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you can't do that, and we do have, like, I have somebody who is registered, and he's over in the UK, so you can watch them after the fact. So if you do miss some of them, you can watch them after the fact. And then we're also running it again. We're going to just do a repeat of the content. We're going to start that on my birthday, actually, on September 24th. So we're going to run a repeat of it, and then we're going to do kind of a round 2 where we're going to sort of do new content, but that will come probably in 2016, probably. I'm not sure exactly when, but it will come soon. So that's
well, I'll continue to keep pushing it on Twitter, and then You know, I keep seeing it. That's awesome.
Oh, there's another cat. So
Yep.
there's another cat. So there's two. There's Yoda right there. He's the orange one.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of them around here. It's just, we're riddled with them. We have a whole collection of them. So I'm very low-key about it, and I'm trying not to be, I'm actually, like, ridiculously excited about it. It's, I had a moment of panic over the weekend about it, and then I was just like, it's either going to work or it's not, and there's not really anything I can do about it. So, it's either.
I think it's going to be awesome. Looking forward to hear the report next Tuesday. Dawn, how are you doing? What are you up to?
Good. Working.
Yeah, I see you got a nice QB circle behind you.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to move over for that because Stacy
It's nice.
made me a gift.
I don't have one. Well, mine's on my shirt, but I don't have one.
Oh, Woody, I'll bring. You know what? I'm gonna send you one of mine because I have two. I don't know if you see. I have two. Dawn has two.
I do.
No, it's awesome. I'll put it behind me.
There we go. There's the other one. It's just out of reach. Really.
Nice.
Woody, would you like a big one or a small one? We both have a small one and we both have a big one. Which one would you like?
I think big's good. I'll put it right behind me. It would go right here because I don't have anything here except my shadow. But no, I love this shirt. If you notice, it's from the XD conference.
I love it.
In like it was a bunch of app partners and stuff, and I just took it out of the box at Scaling New Heights. I was like, wow, look at that shirt. And I just didn't ask anybody. I just took it.
Good for you.
I like it.
That's what Dawn and I did with some chargers at Scaling New Heights.
I'm gonna start taking stuff.
We did.
Because I have all these T-shirts that are getting old. So I'm going to just kind of next conference, I think it's probably the Midwest Accounting Show, I'm just going to take a bunch. And then when we get to QuickBooks Connect, I'm going to take a bunch of T-shirts.
Nice.
Take them.
Do it.
I got some. You know what, Woody? I have some shirts. I have some from Boulder if you want some.
That would be good. That would be excellent.
I think I have some extras for you.
I was not totally thrilled with the color that was chosen for Scaling New Heights, so I just left those in the hotel. But I still have the QB show shirt, and then I have the first kind of limer green Intuit Loves Accountant shirts.
Nice.
And then I got this one, and I got this cool QuickBooks Connect shirt that I did have to ask for because you couldn't just take one of those. They were only given to people to register for QuickBooks Connect. So I'm not registering, obviously. But so I asked a couple people, and they said, just take one.
You are a registered QB defender. That's
exactly. So we got Laura Redmond coming on at the top of the hour, right?
Nice.
Yeah, so we got to do sponsors. We got to mention our sponsors before she comes on.
We haven't done it in a while, yeah.
Yeah, I did it last week. So,
I was not on.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks for that, because Isaac had a cool birthday. It was fun. So, did you see the pictures of the Iron Man stuff?
I did. It was awesome. It was amazing. Yeah.
He is so into like rescue bots and all the superhero stuff. So
nice.
It was that. Yeah, and that's my new Twitter profile pic is me as Iron Man.
I saw that. That's very nice.
And a white, I'm doing quotes around muscle T-shirt.
Oh boy.
Really can't really say muscle with me, but I have, one of those T-shirts, one of those nasty T-shirts. You see in like, reality TV shows sometimes. That's what I'm wearing.
That's fair.
Just to qualify.
That's what your muscle shirt. I'm waving to everybody. I'm waving to all of our friends who are watching. That's what I'm doing. Hi.
Who?
Wow.
Just to all of our friends who are watching. I just wanted to say hi. Oh, we're doing sponsors and I'm interrupting. I'm sorry.
I'm in.
No, let's go. All right, so I'll start.
Go ahead.
I wanted to thank Avalara. I was going to start with Avalara, and that's avalara.com, of course, sales tax and sales tax automation. They recently bought a European sales tax company, so they're going to have quite a global reach as well. And they moved to they opened an office in North Carolina, which I found out is the second best place to have a business behind Texas, according to CEO Magazine. North Carolina is. It totally shocked me. I had no clue. North Carolina, in fact, companies are just going there, just like they're coming here. So Avalara went to North Carolina, and then I talked about the Salt in the Box thing. I think we mentioned it a couple, 3 weeks ago, where you guys as Avalara partners can offer it's sales and what's the L stand for? Sales and something tax. Sorry. Anyway, Salt in a Box. Check it out, Avalara. Very cool program you can get involved with. And then, of course, T-Sheets, tsheets.com. That's time tracking GPS. Had a lot of fun with them at Scaling New Heights, and they had that party on Monday night. It was just a great time. And I watched the Jim McGinnis and Matt Rissell, the Riz.
The Riz.
Kind of their combo keynote they did, or class really. It was more like a class they ran, on making your mark. So that was really cool. TGs.com. Now, Don, you've actually kind of, Don, you've actually kind of like branded your website with T-Sheets.
That's correct.
Noticed. That's awesome.
I thought, in my opinion, because Intuit won't let me take their logo, so there's that. Which
that's what I usually see. Snag it.
I got the QuickBooks nails still going on, but for me personally, or for my company, I want to team up with a company that has the same kind of moral structure and drive that Matt Rissell has created for his team. And I'm hoping that for me and my team that we have the same, the same thing. I mean, they have core values, mission statements that I believe in, and I'm hoping that we can follow their lead, I guess is fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, when I noticed this is the first time I ever noticed that another, what do you call it, booth at a show like Scaling New Heights or Sleater or any of the big ones would have more traffic than Intuit booth. So forever, so as long as I've been doing this, and it's not really hasn't been that long. I've only been doing these things since I think 2010, so it's like 5 years. But still, you see a lot in those years, and always the Intuit traffic is just packed. And this is the first show where T-Sheets, I think, had more traffic than Intuit did.
Well, they were sort of together, which they should be.
Right, we were like right next to each other.
Right.
That's cool.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. And then let's see, we have as well Fundera. Fundera.com. It was fun seeing Meredith at Scaling New Heights. She's such a hoot.
I know. I love her.
The little prop.
Both Stacy and Don are using Fundera, and Don, you go up to New York and hang out with Meredith Wood a lot. So there you go.
Fabulous. Love it.
And then we have SkylineCloudServices.com, formerly Unidata, but SkylineCloudServices.com, and you can go there, and that's of course QuickBooks, Microsoft Office hosting, QuickBooks streaming as well, and they host the tax products and all that stuff. And then, of course, QVinci, QVinci.com. They're about to come out, and we had Charles Nagel on, and he demoed QVinci. And a lot of you guys will know QVinci from the desktop product, and when the Sleater Award in 2009, a way to roll up reporting across multiple entities, dashboards, KPIs. But now they've moved on. They still have that, but they are totally a web-based solution as well, QVinci.com.
Oh, I love QVinci. Dang, I love that.
Great.
I saw Charles, or someone from QVinci responded on Twitter, so if it's on Twitter, I should be able to say it. They're coming out with a budgeting feature, which is really exciting. Because there's not a lot of report modules that do that. I mean, I think there's a few, but I love because of how easy QVinci is to hook up and use, and it has the standard chart of accounts, which I like, the SCOA. So that
I love that when you say
budgeting is cool. SCOA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like POTUS too. And then what's the acronym for the Supreme Court, which I like much less, but still it's kind of cool. What's it called? SCOTUS?
Yeah.
SCOTUS. Yeah, see, POTUS, SCOTUS. I like SCOA. Standard chart of accounts. So, and that just allows you to, when you have a bunch of entities and one's calling it rent, the other one's calling it lease expense, well, there's a way to consolidate all those.
Yeah. Nice. Yep.
Into similar naming conventions. So, good on them.
Yep.
And so thank you for being sponsors of the QB show. Is Laura on yet, or is she coming on top? Oh, there she is. Yeah, I see her face, but I think it's just a pic.
I see the picture. I don't see her. She'll be on soon.
So she'll be on soon. That's cool. So, did you guys want to jump to a question before we go?
Absolutely.
Okay, do that, because that was kind of a long intro, but it's been a while. I don't think I've been on the show for a couple weeks.
Well, then let's ask you a question.
Yes, please. And my mouse isn't working, so you'll have to scroll.
I'm scrolling, so let's see. Let's look for a good one here. Oh, here's a good one. What do you think about tasks? What would you, if you had QBO, how would you have a recurring task? Is there something that you could do, some secret way, a workaround, if you would, Woody, in QBO that you could use to create some sort of task or reminder in QuickBooks Online?
Yeah, because it's not, they used to have that on the home page, messages and reminders or messages and tasks, and it's not. Although I see it when I log in, because I have an old classic file that's been migrated, I'll log into the home page and it'll still say, check out your tasks, but there's not, I mean, they're not really there. So it's really reminders on the recurring transactions. So when you go to the recurring transaction list, it doesn't have to be about transactions. You can just create a reminder. You know, like put in a $0 check that's going to recur and just set it as reminder, you know. And that way, when you go into the home page, you'll see that there'll be a thing in the middle. It happens to be every morning, and I clear it out. But it says you have open reminders. Do you want to check them out? And it brings you to the reminder part of the recurring transactions. So it's really a recurring transaction, but not. You're not setting it to actually enter into QBO. It's just a reminder to enter it. Now, I was hoping that on the right-hand side, the activity feed would have messages and tasks, but I have not yet seen messages and tasks. Stacy, have you seen any kind of message and task that we would remember?
No, but you could use possibly a $0 recurring transaction is what I'm thinking. Like that would be the only thing I could think of.
Right. And let's see here. And Laura might have even a better idea. I forgot who I learned that from. I didn't think of that idea myself.
Yeah, I don't.
No. I learn and then I am a messenger, or I do a video on it.
Yeah, I don't see, and I see Laura is like sort of in the chat, but she's not in the thing.
That's all right.
Well, let me see.
She'll be on soon.
Well, no, she's like in it, but she's not in it, so I'm trying to figure out how to.
See her face in there.
I see her picture.
Yeah.
Do not see her.
And so we are trying to get Laura Redmond in. She'll be on tonight. She's going to talk about Arrow, and she's going to talk about workflow, and Arrow is a third party. They were at Scaling New Heights. And both John and Laura, big fans. They've been using them for a long time. So Laura was going to demo Arrow and also just talk about, you know, her business and how it's going. Remember, you know, it's a good story. I'll let her explain it, but I remember when 2012, when she and her husband totally dropped the desktop, moved all the clients over to QBO. It's a good story. We'll let her explain it. So
she's gonna try and she's gonna like log out and then log back in because for some
here, Stacey. Yeah, while we do that, here's a good one, and I always forget how to do this, and this is, you know, looking for a profitability by customer, but only showing the sales total for certain products.
Oh.
Did you? Yeah. So the sales total for certain products.
There she is.
Okay. We'll put that on hold.
Yeah.
Cool, Laura. Hey, what's going on?
So happy to see you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you great.
You sound great.
Wow. So thanks for coming on, and I just wanted to introduce, you know, the QB Show audience, and then if they're listening throughout the week or next week, Laura Redmond on for Redmond Accounting out from beautiful sunny California, kind of Northern California. But so Laura, how's it going? And if you could kind of introduce yourself, you know, to the audience first. Many of us already know you, but just for those that don't.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me on.
Should know Laura Redmond. Saying.
What's up, Dawn?
I love you.
Johnny says hi. So my name is Laura Redmond. Johnny that we're referring to is my husband and partner, and we have an accounting firm in Northern California, Silicon Valley area outside of San Francisco, and we provide client accounting services. Not tax, but all sorts of other year-round accounting work. And we are all QBO, all cloud-based, and so basically we have multiple staff. We've got a couple of other people that work not in our office, so remotely. In fact, Sharon in our office is our East Coast.
I love her.
Ohio. Yeah, she's great. She's just made Intuit Council, so she'll be out here.
Wow, that's exciting.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so we have multiple staff, multiple clients, and all this work going on. And that's client accounting services. And then, of course, I know you guys so well because I'm also an Intuit Trainer Writer Network, so I work a lot with Stacy and Dawn. And then I help co-author the QBO certifications, and with that, I work a lot with Stacy and Woody.
Yes.
So,
including the advanced cert that you and Stacy did.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this. I did not have anything to do with the advanced.
Oh, but you
Really?
did.
No.
Oh, but you did. Inspired lots and lots and lots of the stuff that Woody and I were working on. All of your early articles, all of that just gave a lot of inspiration and
I did not know that.
Me too, but your early work set the tone for a lot of the advanced concepts, so thank you for that.
I had no idea. I will just say that. I did not know that.
And if you want to know the story behind how many actual hours Laura plugged for the advanced search, just ask her husband John sometime. He'll give you that story. But Laura, you know, one of my favorite stories of you, before we get into these questions, and thanks for taking the time out of your early evening there, because it's about almost 5, right? So to come on the QB show. When you guys decided to come all the way cloud and you left the desktop, and you know that kind of story, because I remember you were already doing it, but you told it to me in 2012 at that Scaling New Heights in Nashville.
11.
And then so I ran 11. And introduced
you to.
Vegas.
Okay,
it was 11.
I left
okay.
you in Vegas in 2011, and I said, I think I'm doing it right now. Going home, everybody's going to QBO.
Oh,
nice.
But when it broke the story, I think it was the next year though when it actually you guys had already gone through the transformation. Yeah. And then so I immediately got Heather Kirkby, who's now still group product manager over QBO, to meet you and to hear the story, and that was very exciting for her because that was when Jill Ward was asking accountants to take another look at QBO. So you were still way, a firm only doing QBO. You were still way ahead of
we were on Classic, and Stacy had been there early on in that whole process also. But yeah, I mean, I left you in 2011. I said we're flipping everyone to QBO, everybody, all 100%. We've always had some on that, but I mean, we were going all. And it took a couple of months because when you have some clients on desktop, every app you're using with them has to be, you have to subscribe to a new app for them, right? So it was a bit of a process, but yeah, that was fun. And then that next year, 2012, was where Heather came out at a conference, and this time Intuit's keynote was all about QBO, and a tear trickled down my face. I was so happy because it was a bit riskier the year before. Yeah. I mean, we didn't know. Some people were saying they would scratch QBO and start something other one and rebuild some other something. So it was. Oh right, I remember that. Yeah, I mean, there was all these weird rumors going around about that. Yes.
Oh wait, I hear an echo.
Oh yeah.
Is it me?
It might be.
I don't hear the echo.
I'll turn my volume down a little. How about now? It's better?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about now? If I talk.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Okay.
So no, that's great. There were a bunch of rumors going around. I don't remember really what was going on, but that was so cool. I remember as you left 2011 and then the 2012 Scaling New Heights. So, but for you guys, the workflow, there are other key apps though that you've always had, even when you had desktop clients. So what are the key, what's the platform of apps you guys use daily?
Well, my personal favorites are we lean heavily on Bill.com.
Yep.
Long-time Bill.com lover. Method, I'm a big Method CRM app person and developer there, and that is where I teamed up with two fellow pro advisors, colleagues of ours, and we created a company called Cloud Consultancy, and there we do or have done Method consulting, and we've built this app and developed this app called Arrow that we'll talk about today. And what are some other favorites? I love LivePlan for forecasting, budgeting. We use Expensify for expense reporting.
Does LivePlan do budgeting, for vendors and like expenses as well? I mean, for vendors, not.
Yes.
I mean, like filtered by vendors, as opposed to just like.
Right.
Okay.
No, I don't believe it's vendor level.
Okay.
But it does the forecasting for revenue and budgeting for expenses.
All right. No, that's good. That's good. And then you are you still doing IOP Foray? I'm sorry if I missed that. Is that a key? Okay,
Yes,
that's a key
IOP
component.
Foray. Yeah. And then
Right.
we're big Google Apps lovers.
Oh.
So
Oh, wow.
all the Google Apps and that.
Yep.
Yeah. Hangouts, email, calendar, sites, documents, Drive, Google Groups. We use the collaborative inbox for each client so that we as a team they email us, and we as a team can all be their accounting department for each client and have all the email there so that I can see what one of our clients emailed to one of my other team members.
Nice.
In that sense.
Love
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And then, of course, what you're here to talk about tonight, and I saw them at Scaling New Heights, so I knew they were there, Arrow, who I don't know much about, but for workflow.
Yeah, so Arrow is a workflow app that we developed over the years to use for our accounting firm. And we started out with just, we've got multiple clients, multiple staff, and all these various things services we provide. So it started out as just a spreadsheet with rows for all the work we had to do and columns for the client, and it just kept growing. The spreadsheet grew and grew and grew as we leaned on it heavily to organize all the work that we had to do. And so we would sort it, filter it, and add macros to it, and it would just corrupt. So we outgrew that. And then we used Methods platform to build Arrow as a cloud-based app. And other firms would ask us if they could get it to use it to organize all the work they were doing in their firm. So we put it in Methods App Store, and then we've now built it on its own platform, and it integrates to QBO. So if you are on Method, we have Arrow for Method, and if you are not on Method or are using a different CRM, you can now get Arrow just on a browser.
So you guys created Arrow? It's your baby? Wow. I had no idea. That's news to me. I had no idea.
I did. I knew it.
That is awesome.
There, and you'll see why. I'll show you around it a little bit, but I mean, we've got different people, and I often would find myself feeling like a roadblock because everybody in our firm wanted to do great work. They just needed something from me, maybe because I was the point person with a client, or from each other. And so this was a way to also, if you ever find yourself, if you're running a firm and find yourself thinking that you wish you could just clone yourself because it's faster to just do something yourself than stop and show someone how to do it. Yeah. So this is a way to set out exactly how you're going to perform your services and delegate it and schedule it, and it just gets done really consistently every time. So that was the emphasis. If you've read eMyth and Darren Root's eMyth for Accountants, you know about documenting your processes and stating the way things are going to be done in your firm, and then organizing it, scheduling it.
Nice.
That's awesome. I didn't. Thank you for that. I had no clue. So, who's it for? I mean, I know it's kind of obvious, but you said, just accounting firms, just small, large. Who can use Arrow? Who would leverage it best?
on Method, we have had other companies download it because you can load whatever type of tasks you want into it and schedule it for whatever frequency you want. But we are in the accounting community, and so the conferences we go to are accounting conferences, and we're focusing on accounting firms, and that's how I'm using it, in an accounting firm.
Right. So
Okay.
basically, though, any kind of consulting, I mean, basically any kind of consulting company conceivably could use this, right?
Yeah, and if you're looking to scale or grow your business, and if you're thinking about value pricing, then you have to have workflow management, whether it's Arrow or a spreadsheet or a checklist. I mean, if you fix the price on your engagement, then you have got to control your costs and your service delivery. So, you know, if you're building that firm of the future, you have to define your core services, create standards for how you're going to deliver them, and then systemize the delivery using some type of workflow management tool. Otherwise, your costs will just be flapping in the wind, and you're kind of doing hourly. Everybody does it however they want, and it might take a long time or not.
Well, exactly, and then there's that scope creep. We actually are in the process of rewriting an engagement letter. We just did our client score. We just did a client review because we go through, and one of the things that we teach the Academy is a client scoring matrix where we do a review with our clients at least annually. I mean, at the very least, we do it annually. And so we're doing a review, and we are redoing an engagement letter with a client who has had like continual scope creep, so we are completely redoing their engagement letter right now. So
and you probably have certain steps that you want done. You don't want just, I mean, if you're going to have staff do this and perform it consistently every time, so the value's high the way you want to deliver that service to your clients because they're paying for it, and you want it done in such a way that's efficient and effective, then you probably have steps that for the way you want it done. You don't want your staff to just open QuickBooks and tootle around for a few days and see how they want it done. You've got steps for that. And so you want to, you know, sort of standardize those, and then you can assign it to whatever client and whatever staff's going to do it. And then you also need this way, I mean, the other part of workflow is the practice management piece, which is the firm has to have the ability now to watch it. Like if you've got all these tasks now assigned to different clients and different staff, and each staff person now knows what work they're doing and they're going about doing it, then the firm has to also watch over it and see all the work being done so that they have some clue as to, do they have any opening? Are they available to take on new work, or do they need to hire someone? Or you know, that sort of thing. And how long does it take to do certain types of work? So how do you know how to price it and scope creep?
And one of the things that we teach is, like, there's 3 words that I just, like, beat into, and I have been for every pro advisor that I have been training or coaching or doing consulting work over the last few years, and it is trainable, repeatable, and scalable. And if what you're doing does not meet those 3 things, then you need to reevaluate what your processes are. They have to meet those 3 things. If it's not repeatable, trainable, and scalable, then you really need to reevaluate the processes that you have in your practice. Because you're never going to be able to grow, and you're never going to be able to hire somebody and teach them what you're doing. You're never going to be able to delegate if it's not repeatable, trainable, scalable. Has to be those 3 things.
Yeah, and that's what makes a business. That's a business instead of just a job. Because you can have a job where you've got a few clients and you're like their contractor, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're building a firm and you've got staff, and staff are one of your greatest assets, right? You've got to manage them. They're trained, they're intelligent, as you said, trainable. You make them get certified. They go to QBO Chat. They go to School of Bookkeeping. They know what's up. They're experts. They don't need to be micromanaged. They just want to work autonomously. You just have to define what they're supposed to do. And set it, like you said, repeatable. And then you've got like that recipe for the service that you defined as what your business is going to be. Go about delivering it.
Exactly. Yay!
Awesome. So cloud consultancy, though, that's you. That's you and a couple of your friends.
Victoria Cameron, Mark Cruz.
Mark Cruz. All right.
Yeah. These are, so we founded it a couple of years ago, and they are also fellow method developers.
Okay.
And of course, fellow pro advisors. We all have and run and continue to run our own accounting firms, separate from cloud consultancy.
All right.
Nice.
And then
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, this is quite an epiphany for me. I did not know that. I thought you were just leveraging Arrow. I didn't know that you guys had created it. That's awesome. But I'm always the last to know, though, and that's almost on everything. So that's on me. But no. So let's. So you described who it's for, and that's awesome. Can you dive in and kind of show us around like a typical workflow in Arrow and what you do?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna move my window over and try to share screen.
Awesome.
Okay. And we'll be quiet.
What's up, Dawn?
How you doing? You're so cute. I love Redmond.
Okay, tell me, can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, wait, let me resize my other window. Give me a second. I got my dual monitors. I'm resizing, getting your cute pictures out of the way, your video. Okay, so this is Arrow I'm showing on screen, and I'll take you through just a few of the main points about it. First of all, let's look at from the standpoint of Arrow manages your staff, right? And we were just talking about how staff, they're trained, they know accounting, or they know the apps. You've already done that for them. They just need to know what is expected of them, and then they want to be off and running and doing great work. So here is the screenshot. When you log in, I'm logged into a demo account. I'm playing the role of Robert. Robert is the staff person at an accounting firm, and so he's the person logged in, and this is what he sees on his list. These are his arrows. So we call an arrow is what we call an activity. So this is like your to-do list. It's an activity that tracks time and provides resources so that you can perform your work consistently and efficiently every time. So here I'm logged in, and you can see all the arrows that are assigned to Robert. This is everything that's due for him up to today. If he didn't finish it yesterday, it's still on his list. It's right here. If it's tomorrow, it's not showing yet. We just got to get all this work done first. So I'll go in and just accept. Here's a payroll task. Who asked about Intuit Online Payroll? Woody, here's a payroll task. I'm going to click the arrow. Oh, let me point out just quickly here. This may be TMI, but we have webinars and show more and more what everything does here. But there are different types of arrows that we define. All that means is the screens are a little bit different. These little paper airplanes are like work that you're going to do. You're probably working on this by yourself. If you see a clock, that's an appointment. You probably have a phone call with someone or a web meeting or whatever. Someone else is probably involved. If you see an email, you can get, if you're using Gmail, Gmail can come in here and you can read your email while tracking time and having your client info. All of this posts to QuickBooks, right? All your time track. So, and then the I is information. It's like a thought or a note. Like you ever, wake up in the morning, you have this thought of something you want to do or think out more, you can just put a note. Because remember, I'm on a browser, right? So I can just get at this from my phone, too. So here's my list of arrows. I'm Robert. I'm log in the morning, and I'm going to go work on this payroll. It's elevated tasks. So when I click that, here's my step-by-step. My firm has told me everything to do. I know how to do it. I know accounting and all that. But I have to tell you, even if you are the expert in your firm, it helps to have the checklist of things to do. Because when you're jumping around from client to client and from service to service, I need a reminder that the client I'm working on has like hourly staff, not salary staff, and I have to get, in this case, I have to get an approval from such and such manager or whatever it may be. I need my little steps spelled out for me, So when you come in to work on it, notice a couple of things. You've got some steps here, and as I go about performing each of these steps, normally I've got this browser open and my other browsers I'm doing my work on. Each of these steps, as I check them off, it's copying it down into my time tracking notes. The time and the time tracking notes and the date, all of that posts through to QuickBooks.
Oh, that is sweet.
Yeah. So, and then here you've got some more notes if whoever designed this arrow and scheduled it wants to put something more informational. And then you've got these resources over here. So there are a couple of places I'm going to point out resources. And this is one of the big things about Arrow is in order to have the work done as effectively as possible, you've got to give everything to the staff that they're going to need to get it done. And so sometimes you have new staff or you have somebody who's covering for someone else out on vacation. Sharon, one of my directors, is out on vacation this week, and I'm covering all of her tasks, and sometimes I need reminders that are even more than the checkboxes. So here you've got some links to things. So I'm going to click on a few, and just to give you an example, we've got procedures inside Arrow. Remember, and we'll talk about this in a second, but remember we talked about defining your services. So, I mean, set out what your services are, document them, and then put a link to them. If you've got someone new or even someone just needs a little more help, they can click on the stands for standard operating procedure to read more about how to do this timesheet. Here, maybe you've got, in this case, we're doing payroll for someone. Maybe you're sharing a spreadsheet with the client, and they're supposed to go put notes about any new changes or new added employees or something with payroll, right? So maybe you've got this shared spreadsheet you need to access. Give them the link right there so they don't have to go looking for it. Maybe they have to pay holiday pay, and who can remember which holidays just passed? Give them a link to Google Holiday Calendar. They can look back at this date range and go, yep, we just had a holiday. Thanks for the reminder. I better pay that holiday. You can give a link to the app. Here we're paying an Intuit Online Payroll. Give them a link right to go log into Intuit Online Payroll. More procedures, you know, if it's someone new, give them the procedures right at their fingertips instead of them having to go find some binder somewhere and looking it up. How do I do that? So now you see what I mean by giving them the step-by-step instructions. It's a checkbox. It's just a quickie. You know, if you already do this all the time, these are really quick just reminders to make you get it all done. As I'm checking each one off, if I stop midway and I have to come work on this later, these will have the check boxes still there when I come back in.
So wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
So do you have it set in there? So like notify, like where it says like notify employees or whatever.
Yep.
Do you have something set up where it's standard where you can click a button so that notification goes out? Do you have something standard and set up in the arrow in the app?
Yes and no.
Okay.
In this case, this one is referring to the IOP for A, where you just click the little button and it sends those emails.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
But there are quick links to come up here and start. One of the things you can start is an email. Let me just give a brief overview of this quick links. Anytime I'm in a task, I can still go start something else. On the quick links, you can either add an arrow or you can start one. The only difference is that starting them starts the timer too. This is like, I'm doing this and I'm doing it now. So if you're going to go send an email to customers, and in the email there are all your templates. Like if you have a special template for how your firm is going to request a W-9 from a vendor, it's going to be right there for you. And it's going to track the time and code it to the client you're working on. So you can absolutely send emails from Arrow. And later, when your other staff are working on that client, I'll show you this at the bottom. Let me come show you this.
And that's integrated like with your Google Apps, so like with your Gmail?
Gmail. Support for Gmail.
Oh, dude, this is so badass.
Gmail. Okay, so down here at the bottom, these are more resources here. So you've got these tabs that when you click them, they open up. You can see company info. This is kind of like address, what version of QuickBooks or software they're on. Company arrows. These are what I was talking to, where you can come in here and view other arrows that people have sent emails and things. You can access these from here, and you can search. All of these have the ability to search, filter, and sort. So you can actually find the emails that your team sent from Arrow having to do with this client. Company contacts. You know how sometimes you have to contact the attorney or the insurance broker or something for your client? All those contacts can be right here. And then, most importantly, the vault. And we've got 8 security levels. So if you have an intern that you don't want to see important information, make them the first level. But the vault is where you put passwords to the bank. You can launch the URL right from here. Tax ID number, capitalization threshold, all that kind of stuff that you have about the client that you want to give. So that's what I mean when I say give the staff all the resources they need, spell it out, and they'll get their work done. And notice that this timer started as soon as we came in here. Let's say I don't finish. I'm just going to save and defer. It's going to ask me why. Put whatever note you want to and then hit defer. It's going to stay on my list because I'm not finished. And when I go back into it, I'm just going to see the check marks for the remaining check steps that need to be done. But that time and the notes that we just put in, that posted through already. That's gone to QuickBooks because we did that work. Who knows when I'll get back to this. So that's kind of the overview of managing your staff. Okay, tell me how my time is because I can show you a couple of other things.
You can go.
Yeah, go
you can go right to the end. You
Okay.
can go over if you want. Like
Okay.
take as much time as you want. This is
Okay.
freaking awesome.
Oh, cool. Okay, so that's your staff. They know what to do, and the next thing I kind of want to talk about is let's talk about like how did that activity end up on their list, right? And so I'm going to go over to the Manage menu and jump down to Arrow Templates. And I want to talk about templates a little bit. So you saw me pop open a couple of procedures. You remember when we were doing that task and I clicked on that link that said SOP for Standard Operating Procedure and the page opened? We have procedures in here where you can fully define how you're going to do things with print screens and whatever. And so this is your knowledge capital. This is the secret sauce for your firm. This is the recipe for how you're going to provide your services. Like I put my hands up, put your hands on your hips, everybody, and in your most bossy voice declare, this is how we do things here, right? Because this is your firm. Document how you want it done, what apps you're going to use, what steps, everything. And so then you can delegate it to staff and clients. So you can create the procedures here, and then you also create these shorter like checklists, and these are called templates. Now, you can just go add an arrow straight in and not use it as a template, but I'm showing you templates because the more powerful thing to do is create the checklist template, and then you can pull it in and use it over and over again. Every time you get a new client, boom, if you're going to do bill pay for them, assign them the bill pay template. And in our case, we have multiple staff doing things, so we have the best practice for separation of duties. So I've got templates for, Bill.com enter bills, Bill.com pay bills, because I've got 2 different people who are doing different things on those. So however you're going to break it out, just define it and set up your templates here. This helps optimize the workflow in all sorts of situations that are really normal. Because, like for me, I do work that sometimes I do it quarterly. Like I have to remit quarterly Ohio payroll tax. I'm in California. Like I'm really can almost not even remember. Every time I do it, I'm like, have I done this before?
Right.
For years.
Right? I know. And you know what? I have to do it for California. So I have to do California like sales tax, and I'm always like, what do I have to do?
I'm quite sure I've never seen this before.
Yeah, and I have to do it once a month, and every month I'm like, wait, where do I have to go? What is this link? Yeah, so I totally understand. Yeah.
So you set up a template for it. So I'm just going to use the one that we were just looking at, payroll using IOP. I'm going to click View to go in and look at it. Now we're going to go into read-only mode. Into edit mode, not read-only. Remember when the employee was doing it from their list of arrows, it was more of a read-only mode. They couldn't change the steps or anything. They could just click it off, do it. They had resources there to do the work. Here is the edit mode where you set up a template. Now, on a template, this one you're going to probably use to assign some kind of work to multiple clients and staff in the future. So I don't really fill in company or contact or any of that stuff right now. In fact, you see there are only 2 fields up here that have a red asterisk that are required. So you really only have to fill that out. So what you do here is you set up and you say, here's my payroll using Intuit Online Payroll task. Here's my task. And then you scroll down here and you see all your steps. And here's where you define those steps. See how this is edit mode? So I can come right in every one of my steps. I put all those links, put to my procedures, any URL you want. And this is where you really just state how you want things done, right? Nice. So then you save and close, or just close because I didn't save. And you can add as many steps as you want. I've got close periods with like 30 steps on it, I think. So once you have set up all your checklist templates, then you can come here and you can add an arrow or a master arrow. And the only difference here is that if you add an arrow, it's a one-time thing. It's going to show up on that person's list, your staff. If you add a master arrow, let's go do a master arrow. If you add a master arrow, assign it to the staff person you want, assign it what company they're going to be working on. Where is a company that makes sense? And then you can click Save and Edit. So now I've just, look how easy that was. All my steps come in. All I did was assign it to what person's going to do it regularly and what client they're doing for it. Now, you know, every client's got something special about them. Absolutely, every business.
Right. So like snowflakes, every client is a snowflake.
Yep.
Hey, Laura, is there a way to assign a master arrow to multiple staff, like staging almost, staging of tasks?
No, you mean if they're going to do something and reassign it to another?
Yeah.
No, from their list, what they do is when they finish doing their part, they reassign it and pass it to the next person.
Okay, cool.
So here you would make any changes if you have any. You may not have any. And then this is what the difference is between a master's. Then you come and set how frequently you're going to do this. So let's say you're going to do it weekly every Monday, I don't know. Starting
recurring tasks. That's awesome.
Through the end of the year, however long your contract is with them, whatever you insert your occurrences, they're here. When you come in the future, something changes about this. See, it's set up. This is going to be on Robert's list every time he logs in on these dates. You can come change one of them if you need to reassign it to someone else because he's on vacation that week.
See, this is where the recurrence of this is where like Maven lost it for us, is we couldn't set up like recurring stuff.
Yeah, this was where we had to move off of the spreadsheet onto an app.
Yeah.
Because spreadsheets just don't have that programmability more than just endless rows.
Wow.
So, and then in the future, if I come in here, I'll see that in the future, Robert will have finished a bunch of these arrows. This is like the parent one right here. And if I make a change and go, oh, you know what, this company changed things. They don't pay holiday pay anymore. I'm just going to delete that row, right?
Yeah, sure.
It will roll out on all the next ones coming up.
Nice.
So you can come and make those changes. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. Okay. Save and close. And now this is done. It's out there. So, yeah.
So the first thing that everybody in your firm does in the morning is go log into Arrow.
Yeah. Including myself.
Right, and it's probably one of the first things you train new staff.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is awesome.
The other part of that is that then you've got this practice management piece. So here I'll come over to Manage Dashboard, and I'll just show you this. I mean, ask any questions you want. But here's this kind of overview for the firm of the bird's eye view of what's happening in the firm. So like Sharon in our office has an arrow that she has on her list every day is to come over to Manage Dashboard and proactively manage the firm. She comes in and drills down here and says, deferred, 5 things are deferred. She drills into it. She's like, what's deferred? Who's waiting on what? She can drill into each of these arrows and see, is something waiting on me? You know, generally it's just run-of-the-mill stuff. We're waiting on some document from some whatever. But there is that ability to have the whole manage capability to see how your firm is doing. And then from here, so we use
Oh wait,
on
we
our,
got a question. Oh,
yeah,
audience question. Does it allow clients to see progress or be part of the team?
no, this one does not. On Arrow for Method, you can customize method, and you can customize and build a portal. I
Okay.
did, to have clients be able to see whatever you filter and customize for them to see, but you could show them
Okay.
in a portal that.
Nice.
Yeah, we experimented with that, and
I wouldn't want clients to see that.
No,
I'm
heck
just
no.
saying.
I can't imagine a lot of firms want
hey,
to
I
open
see
that.
someone crawling in there, Stace. Who's that?
Oh, that is Eric.
Hi, Eric. Hi, cutie. Oh,
Are you coming to say
that's
goodbye?
kind of cute.
Where'd
He
you
wants to
go?
hear about workflow. How exciting.
Where did you go?
So here I'm
awesome.
going to show you this company. This is all of, you can use any of these menus, but I'm just going to show you this by company, Open and Do, or Open and Do this week. Actually, Open and Do this week is the one we use on all our Monday morning company meetings. So we're all on a Google Hangout every Monday morning, and we're going through each of the clients, what is coming up this week. And this is where anyone shouts out, hey, you know, I'm stuck on something. And if not,
Right.
we just scroll past it.
Wow.
So that's kind of the overview of managing it.
Wow. What kind of, other than this, what kind of reports does it have? Have any reporting?
Not from the standpoint of printing a paper report. I mean, you can control P and print anything here. But I would say that all of the reporting is here on this Manage Arrows, which is where I am.
Yeah.
You can see anything in here. These are all of the arrows or activities. You've also got the option to do Manage Time. And this is all the time tracking records. You can come look at all the time by user for this week. So this is the really heavy reporting, because you can slice it and dice it and group it and sort it and filter it by whatever variable you want.
Nice.
We also have this concept of projects. A project is kind of like a header. This is a group of arrows, and it can be a group of master arrows. So you might have a project for one of your clients and define what the price is on it, and then have under it all the time you're tracking against it. So those are pretty powerful.
I love this. I
Wow.
really like this a lot.
Thanks.
Good job.
How many clients right now, or how many customers or firms are using it?
That is a good question. I don't have that figured.
Okay.
I know that we have maybe someone out there, stop me if I'm wrong, maybe, I'm just guessing here. We just launched in March. I can't even guess. We've had a bunch of
A
sign-ups.
million. You have 1 million.
And then we've got all the Arrow users on Method, and that one's been out for 2.5 years. So
Yes.
a bunch.
Right. How was the response at Scaling New Heights? Because you guys had a booth there, right?
Great. Yeah, that was really fun. That was fun to do.
Wow.
To have a booth, to be there attending, to be there teaching, and to be there in the exhibit hall.
Wow, you were like all three stakeholders.
Yeah, I basically was probably just stunned.
That is awesome.
That is a great app. I really love that.
Thanks a lot, Laura, for that.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
So, my next question.
Yes, Stacy.
What is the price for
Oh, there was.
Arrow?
Yeah.
Oh,
The website's arrowworkflow.com, and there's pricing there.
And also on the Twitters at arrowworkflow.com. And I just want to say, I did post this to the Twitters. I said that if I wasn't already married, I might marry this app. I'm just going to say that because it really is super fabulous.
That's
and so
awesome.
for somebody who, like, we do a lot of value billing, we don't do a lot of hourly billing. We have one, actually, we're working on a project right now. We have a client in Iraq that we're working for. Yeah, they, like the multi-currency for the U.S. QBO is in limited release right now, and so we are kind of sort of beta testing that. So, yeah, so we are cleaning up all of their stuff right now, and so they're hourly, and then we have one other client who's on desktop that we work hourly, but everything else is flat fee. So we don't really track time to bill for it, but we want to track time to make sure that we're not getting hosed on our our time, right? So we want to make sure, and we are huge too with the Googler, and so we use Google Apps for everything. So this is I'm just gonna say this, holy shitballs. This is like absolutely positively, this is super amazing and awesome, and I'm really excited. So how much does it cost, girl?
It's I have
Woody.
I have sole proprietor, $39 per month, one user, built-in time tracking. It's got the QBO sync, Gmail integration, and 2 GB database. Is that for docu sharing or storage?
No, we don't have document sharing. That's just for how big of a database. The bigger, if you have a huge firm with like more than 25 users and you're all going to be hitting that database at the same time, you want the bigger databases. So this is all just server size.
The small firm,
priced by the firm though, right?
Yeah, the small firm is $79 per month, 2 to 5 users, the same stuff that I mentioned. And then the large firm is $149 a month, 6 to 25 users, 25 gigabyte database. And then it does have a link to contact for enterprise pricing if you're over 25 users. But my guess is most people are in that small firm range that are customers right now?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So I have another question. So because you're so Google app connected, are you guys linked to, you guys are using like Google Drive for like your storage and linking documents and all that good shit?
Yes. Outside of Bill.com and QBO and stuff, we also have, so I can link to anything inside of Arrow because it's just got a URL.
Oh, love it.
Very cloudy. And Stacy, what you were saying about time tracking is so important because I am reading a lot recently about value billing versus time tracking. And I always feel like caught between those two because I find both of them so important to us because we've been value billing. We went all fixed fee in 2011, except for those situations
where
I
did.
Hourly.
I did it in 2008.
Now. I have currently one that's hourly, but it's not about, I'm not tracking the hours so much for those one-offs, but that I have to know how to schedule my resources, my staff.
Exactly.
And I have to know how long things take, and so that...
Exactly, and that's why we need to do it too, because I don't pay my partner Shannon on hourly at all, so she gets a percentage. So even for the hourly stuff, we bill the clients on hourly we bill the same hourly rate for everything that we do, and she gets a percentage of that hourly billing. And so when we do flat rate billing, she gets a percentage of whatever that fee is. So we bill $1,000, she gets a percentage of that $1,000. We bill, $100 an hour, $150 an hour. She gets a percentage of that billing rate. So we just need to know what you're talking about. We just need to know how much time to schedule, and if we
have time for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So how long does it take to do that certain type versus another type? You might do payroll 2 different ways, right? You might do it on IOP or one in QBO.
Or QBO, exactly. Or
and those are KPIs. Time is a very valid KPI. And
exactly. And we're getting to a point right now where we're hitting, because it's right now we have part-time admin and it's just Shan and I kind of doing everything. We're hitting a point where it's like, okay, a tipping point where how many people, and it's not an if, but it's a how many more people are we going to have to hire. And do we really want to do that, or do we just kind of want to stay where we are right now for a while and just kind of let it level off and figure out which clients? Here's a cat right here, just so everybody knows. There's one right there. So that's really the reason we want to track time is we don't really bill for so I love this. Oh,
and then Dawn, do you have any thoughts? Because I know when they said time is a valid KPI, you looked like, yeah, I'm in on that.
Uh-oh, are you muted?
No. A while ago.
No, you're good. I can hear you.
No, we just do different work. We don't do necessarily payroll and stuff. We do project work. So
yeah. Which is different. It's totally different. Yeah. And that needs to be tracked via time. And we do some project work too that we track our time. And so we would need to track our time for that project work. So we do not as much. I think we do about 10% that's project work, but the other 90% we do flat fee billing. And so we need to know how much time we need to do for that. So yeah.
On one of the earliest versions of Arrow, because we trashed the timesheet, this would have been 2010, 2011. And we turned off the time tracking because we thought we don't need it. Value pricing, commission pay to staff. And then we put it back in years ago because that's a KPI I needed from the firm perspective, from the practice management perspective. How do I know how to bundle things together? I needed to know how to schedule things, the resource. So
I love it.
Well, hey, Laura, Abby loves it too.
Oh,
Hi.
It's like, you're weird.
See Lulu and Don and Stacy?
She's the final word on it then. That's
Yeah,
it.
she does.
She looks very happy about it.
She does. She's pretty happy about it.
I say we just leave it there. I mean,
Yeah.
Abby had the final word.
Well, hey, Laura, thanks for taking the time out of your night and give John our best. This is
For
great.
sharing your show with us.
Johnny,
We have a
I love
special
him.
offer. I forgot. We have a special offer.
Oh,
Oh,
special
cool.
offer. Yeah. Let us know.
For anyone listening to the show, for the next week or so, you can get free 60 days. Normally when you sign up for Arrow, it's free 30 days. But use the code when you go to get it. Go to our website, arrowworkflow.com. Go to pricing, and there you can click to get Arrow for whatever size firm you are, and type in QB Show 15. It's not case sensitive, just QB Show 15. That expires July 20th.
Nice.
Cool, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so cute.
What did you say? It expires July 20th?
July 29th. Yeah.
That one will be good through July 20th. This says my info. QB Show 15. You get 60 days free instead of the regular 30 days. So that'll put you through like September.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, that's awesome. I'm so excited, and it's a great story. And
Thanks,
great
guys.
app. Yes, thanks a lot. And again, give our best to John. We'll see you guys soon. Don, Stacy, anything else?
Love the Redmonds.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
I love the Redmonds.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next week, the QB Show. Thanks again to Laura Redmond and all our sponsors. We'll see you next week.
The only thing I have to say is Buscadan Laser. I mean, that's it.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Peace out.